You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Friday, 26th day of August, 2022. Thanks so much for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are. We're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts each and every day. The first live broadcast is reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you've not taken your 1-week free trial, and in a few minutes when Michael comes on, he'll show you exactly how to do it. You don't need a credit card, just a desire to actually learn how to trade. No parlor tricks, no circus acts. Just trading. That's from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Once you're a member, you have lifetime access to the live training room, where you will actually see Michael or Val put on and take off trades live in real time, explaining every move they make, every trade they take, and the rule behind it. It is rules-based trading. And you really do need to learn the mechanical model before you attempt to embrace the discretionary method of trading. And if you choose to stick with the mechanical model all the days of your life, there's nothing wrong with that. Once the live training room ends at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, after a 30-minute break, we come back and we do a public broadcast for anybody everywhere. And during the afternoon broadcast, we recap what happened that morning, this morning, in the live training room. And we also look at the Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts. And at any point during the broadcast, if you have a question, all you have to do is type it in the question box. We'll be happy to answer it for you. Now, the afternoon broadcast, there's 2 ways to join. You can go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast, click that, fill out a 30-second registration form, and then every trading day going forward, you'll get an email right before the broadcast starts. All you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you in. And that's the better way to join, because it gives you access to the question box so that, as I said, you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Now, there'll be days you're out of the office, away from your desktop, but you still want to join the show live. All you need is an internet-connected device. It could be your phone, your tablet, it could be a PC, it could be a Mac. As long as it connects to the internet, grab a browser and point it to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN. Pretty easy to remember, youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we simulcast the show, broadcasting both on our GoTo platform and on our YouTube channel, but on the YouTube channel we also archive each and every daily show. Currently there are over 2,000 daily live broadcasts archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. If you're new to the world of CFRN, that's a really good way to get to know us, because you can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, 2 years, even more, and just pick days at random and see what we're talking about on any given day. you'll find that the underlying principles haven't changed because the underlying principles upon which markets operate haven't changed and will never change. So you can either build your house on shifting sand or on the solid rock. The choice is entirely up to you, which is why we give you 5 days in the live training room with access to everything we offer, except the members only Thursday night workshop, so that at the end of your trial you can make a well-informed decision if what we do is right for you. With that said, let's open with a word of prayer. Now, we all have friends and family who perhaps don't share a personal relationship with God, and we're called to pray for them. Romans 10:9 teaches us, if you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is by believing in your heart that you are made right with God, and it is by openly declaring your faith that you are saved. God hears our prayers for loved ones who don't know Christ. Yes, the Lord gives us free will to accept or reject him, but he will never stop pursuing us. God will intersect our lives with others who he strategically puts in place to reach out with the love of Jesus. And when we're ready, we will respond to that call. We want our friends and family to believe in God, to say yes to the unconditional love of Jesus. But their hearts may be distant from God for whatever reason. Thankfully, Jesus stands at the door, and he compels us to shine his light for others to see. Revelation 3:20, he says, here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. So we have hope today. Hope in the one who is faithful. Let's never give up praying for our loved ones who need salvation. God's word assures us the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. James 5:15. As God listens to our prayers, he connects people for the purpose of introducing our loved ones to Jesus. He will keep knocking on their heart's door. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for my family and friends, those saved and those not saved. They are all a precious gift, and I love them more than words can say. I rejoice over my loved ones who have accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and I pray for those who have not. More than anything, I want to know we will all be in heaven together someday through your promise of eternal life. Forgive me for getting discouraged as I continue praying. When I don't see results, I sometimes start to lose hope, so I stand against those lies right now with the power of your promises. You are a good and faithful Father who never stops pursuing your children. You have good thoughts towards my family and friends, so many they can't be counted. You love my people even more than I do. What an awesome truth. I know you hear my prayers and that you are working in their lives right now. Keep knocking on the door of their hearts, Lord. Send your servants as messengers, beckoning my loved ones to open the door and receive the abundant life that you have planned for them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And everybody said amen. All right, let me give you the numbers from around the world. Start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, the indices, as they're called. Powell did today what Powell did. It was a pretty short little speech from from Jackson Hole. However, it followed the script that we've laid out for what would potentially happen next in the markets, and oops, here it is. Currently the Dow down 606 points, almost 2%. NASDAQ fell 345 points so far, 2.75%. S&P 500 down 91 points, a little over 2%. Russell 2000 down 43 points, 2.25%. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 13 cents, trading 92.39 last. Gold down $22.90, trading 17.4850 last. That's a drop of 1.25%. Silver down 23 cents, trading 18.88 last. Again, a drop of 1.25%. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 162 points. The Shanghai fell 10. The Hang Seng added 201, which is 1%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE down 52, DAX down 300, the CAC down 107. Now for the DAX, that's a drop of 2.25%, and for the CAC, that's a drop of almost 1.75%. So we had a mixed day in Asia. Both the Nikkei and the Hang Seng in the green. But it was a red day in the UK. And so far, it's a big red Radio Friday here in the US of A. So with that, we'll go to Michael and get a recap of what happened in the live trading room. After that, I'll be back. We'll look at the Logic 247 alerts, the Concierge Trade alerts. And as I said earlier, if you have a question, type it into the question box. We'll be happy to answer it for you. Michael, it's all yours.
All right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Today is the 26th day of August, 2022. If you've not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com, and right here on the home page, all you have to do is click here. It says grab a seat for 5 days of training and trading. When you do that, you should go here, download the platform. Okay, whatever platform you have, download it. If you don't have a platform, and if your platform is not listed here, you should just get in touch with us, because you can download any of these platforms anyway. Just use them during the trial. All right. You should also download the trade handout. These are the rules for the trade setup. Make sure you do that. Watch the videos if you can. If you do the moment in time video, I go over the rules during the moment in time for the trade setup, the rules that are in the handout, and apply them to the markets that we're going at that time. So it's all a good starting point for you. All right, that is how you take the free trial. Now, the spreadsheet, I happen to not have it open right here. Let me see, I may have it over here. Nope, it went away. Okay, let me just open that back up right quick. And here it is. Okay, so today, we didn't have FOMC, but Powell did start speaking. And he started speaking right on time at 10 o'clock. And I honestly didn't think it was going to immediately affect the markets, because it wasn't like it was news coming out right at 10 o'clock, like the rate or something like that. But sure enough, Dwayne was giving us a countdown to it, and it did immediately affect the market. And I'll show you all that. Okay, but right here, these are the, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures. On the bottom, today's the 26th day of August, 2022. We lost 8 ticks in crude. We made 8 ticks in gold. Hang on, we lost 8 ticks in crude. We made 8 ticks in gold. And we made 108 ticks on the ES. So we're break even between these two, and we made all the money here, and pretty much all the trades there. That put us up 1350 on the morning session, all in the ES. Today it took 31 minutes, because we started out, we were down the first three or four trades. We were down like $300 or $400 to start out with, and I was starting to get it back slowly, and then 10 o'clock came, and Powell started speaking, and then the markets just started going nuts. Anyway, 31 minutes, 11 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $120 a contract, and we took a total of 31 trades. So it's 31 minutes and 31 trades. Odd. Anyway, that puts us at $15,315 on the month. That's over 20 trading days. So we're going to have 23 trading days this month. That's going to be our largest trading month of the year. It's not going to be our highest gain of the year, but it's going to be our largest trading month. Anyway, we're averaging $765 per day this month so far. I've gone 163 out of 163 days so far this year getting our goal, and we've gone 224 days since our last negative day. That puts us now at $168,293 for 163 days, averaging $1,032 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Okay, if you were to quit trading when you got your goal for the day, goal being $100 profit and per contract, $100 per contract profit, and you were to add 1 contract a month, you would now have had to work a total of 27.76 hours, and you would have averaged $3,586 per day. All right, hang on a second. Let me just do this.
Muted.
There we go. Okay, so we'll start out. I'll start out with gold over here. Okay, in gold, let's see. We'll scroll back here. I really didn't have a lot of trades in gold. We started out. Let me do this. You can see we had a break even. Then I thought we had something before that. Nope, we had a break even. Then we had a 27 tick trade right there. And then that was right at 10 o'clock. I put that trade on the down close right here on that, right in here. And I totally forgot about it. And I noticed it, and I picked up 27 ticks on that. We stopped that on the next one, and that put us down to 17. Then we stopped out on the next one. That put us back down to 7. And then we got 1 tick right there. That put us to +8. And since then, it really hasn't done much. Comparatively, to the ES, it didn't do much anyway. And there was a long period of time in here where the market started to go nuts, and my DOMs and the charts were not keeping up. That was for crude and for gold. All right, so then they finally got caught up again, and I took this 1 trade. I took these 2 trades. I took that one and this one when they got caught up again. And I stopped out on that one, got 1 tick profit on that. All right, since then, there was really nothing in here that you could trade. It's got something setting up right here that you could possibly trade, but the slingshot is kind of messed up, and that's the way it's been for most of the morning when there was a trading opportunity. You see right here, if we got a down close on this bar, the green line's going to be right on top of the cycle, so it's not really a good trade setup. All right, in the crude, I didn't trade much at all because the DOMs weren't keeping up, or the charts weren't keeping up with the DOM, actually. It was the other way around. The DOMs were keeping up, but the charts were not. So we had all this business in here. We had a break even right there. It was our first trade of the morning on the crude. Then we stopped out. That was our second trade. So at that point, we were at -10. Then we picked up 2 ticks here. That was our third trade. We got to -8 on that. And then I didn't trade it again, I don't think, because my DOMs just didn't keep up. I don't think I might have put something on at the end. Did I? Nope. I didn't trade it at all anymore. The charts were given nice trade setups, but the DOM just wasn't able to do it. Or the charts were showing nice trade setups after the fact. The charts weren't able to do. The DOM was keeping up, but the charts weren't. Anyway, that was all that I had on the crude. After 11:30 during the break, we'll just go through and see if we had any blues off of blues or reds off of reds. Nope, 1 red off of red happening right now is about it. Blue off of blue right here. It probably wasn't really a blue off of blue, but this red off of red right here. Look down and see what we should do. 92.25, probably down to 92.16 is where this should go. Okay, should go probably down to here, 92.15, 16. It might catch a bump at 92.26, which is really right where it is. 92.21 also, but 92.16 is what it should drop down to. Now this was red off of red from right here, so if you were in it, you stop it, gone to break even already. All right, now the ES. Now the ES had some Had some interesting candles this morning. It had this one right here in the pre-market with the huge doji on top. I mean, a huge wick on top of the doji candle. That was pretty indicative of the rest of the day. It went from there just straight down, just about. At the end, this is what I was thinking it was going to pull back to at the end of this candle right here. Now, when this candle right here was building, I was saying it should get down to here, and then once it gets through that, it should get down to here, and then it should get down to here, and that was when it was trading up here, and it hit all of those numbers. I didn't give a number beyond that yet, but let's see if I were to draw a line from where price is right now. See, the only way to really figure stuff right now is to look left and see what's happened already and where it's found support in the past. This contract, guys, now that I think about it, the new contract becomes available on the second Thursday of the month. So the new contract is going to become available on the 8th. All right. So this month we're going to be rolling earlier than we normally do. Well, next month we're going to be rolling earlier than we normally do. Okay, the Z contract will be coming available much earlier than normal. All right, so I'm scrolling all the way left here and I'm not seeing anything. We'd have to go to a 30-minute chart and be able to see. Oh, this is a 30-minute chart. Well, anyway, on this contract, it's not really showing anything over there on the left. So I would think that the weekly trading zone right here would be your next target, the weekly trading zone down below. And with that in mind, on the 7-tick, you should have plenty of opportunities on the way down there. Okay. The way it started out for us, though, on the ES, we missed all these trades right here, right at the beginning. Those are all pre-market, but we missed all those in the pre-market. We got a break even on that one, missed that one, stopped out on that. Now, this is where it all started. We stopped out on that, and it was an 8-tick stop out on that one. Then I got a couple of ticks that put us at -6. Then I fixed my DOM, so it's on 10 ticks, and I stopped out on that. We got a 10-tick stop out that put us at -16. Got a couple of ticks there, put us at -14. It looks like I got a couple of ticks there, but I didn't write that down. The next trade that I got into was right here. And it should have been 36 ticks, but I only wrote down 32. But either way, I went from -14 to +18. And then I stopped out right here, went back down to +8. Then I got a couple of ticks in here, got me to 10. Or maybe it was right there, I got a couple of ticks. Then I picked up 5 points there, that got me to 38. Or maybe it was, went from 10 to 38, so 7 points there, got me to 38. And then we picked up 4 ticks, that got me to 32. And somewhere in here I stopped out. I went from 38 to 42, then back down to 32. So somewhere in here I stopped out. It might be this one here. And I went from 32 back up to 48. So that was probably this trade right here. And then I went from 48 to 60. So that was 3 points right there, I think. Then I went 60 to 74. So that's 14 ticks right there. And 74 to 90, that's 16 ticks right there. Then I had a break even and I stopped out, went back down to 80, had another break even. Then I had an 8-tick gain, got me to 88. Then another break even, then another 8-tick gain that got me to 96. And then another break even and a 3-tick gain that got me to 99. And a 1-tick gain got me to 100. A 4-tick gain got me to 104. And somewhere in there was one more 4-tick gain that got me to 108. Okay, right here at the end, somewhere probably right in here, was one more 4-tick gain that got me to 108. And that was where I ended on the ES. There was a ton of trading available on the ES. Now, those are just the ones that I did. That's not all that there was. There were a bunch of red offer reds here. If you would have just hit all the red offer reds and blue off of blue, mostly red offer red because it was just going down, down, down. There were a whole bunch of them there. There were more opportunities in here. The slingshot had to be right for all the trend line trades. You got to remember that. If the slingshot is not right, you can't use a trend line trade. If the bar is the wrong color, it's not red, or if price does not hit the BBC, you need to have a trend line and you need to have the slingshot. Okay, so there were a bunch of those trades. I didn't get all of them. I got a good chunk of them, but there was just a lot of opportunity today. A lot more than I thought there was going to be. I really didn't think there was going to be that much opportunity based upon this stuff, the Jackson Hole thing. But either way, I'm happy with it. There was a short just here right now, and right here right now that just triggered while I was talking. Okay, so with the ES, we ended with plus 108 ticks on the morning. That put us at $1,350. Again, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you could read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today's the 26th day of August, 2022. We lost 8 in crude, we made 8 in gold, and made 108 on the ES. Puts at $1,350 on the morning session. Today it took 31 minutes and 11 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're at $120 per contract. $120 per contract. Yeah, I'm trying to see who all is in the audience right now. Excuse me. Okay. And today it took, we took a total of 31 trades. That's where I left off. So on the month now, we're at $15,315 over 20 trading days, averaging $765 per contract per 2-hour trading day. So this will not be our lowest trading month of the year. We have 3 days to get another $1,100 to make it our second best month of the year, or second worst month of the year. Sorry. Anyway, we've gotten our goal for the day 163 out of 163 days, and we've gone 224 days since our last down day. That puts us at $168,293 on the year, averaging $1,032 per contract per 2-hour trading day. If you've not taken the trial, go here to mytradingiq.com, and right here on the home page, it says grab a seat for 5 days of training and trading. Click on that and you get all the information that you need to take a free trial. Okay. All right. That is it, guys.
Unmuted.
With that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Yep.
And Dwayne is ready. There he is.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
All right, recap of the recap.
Today it took 31 minutes and 11 trades to get to $120 per contract. 31 minutes and 11 trades to get to 120.
Way to hang in there.
Yeah, it was a rough start. But
how many of you in the audience could imagine taking 11 trades to get to your goal for the day? Probably not very many.
That's what it took this morning. I started out with a couple break evens, and then I had 3 stop outs. Like bam, bam, bam. And I was working my way back from that, and I was clearly 1 trade away from it. And that was when Powell started talking. So we got the 1 trade we needed.
Takes what it takes. That's the truth about trading.
It sure is.
All right, guys, this week on Logic 247, we're in week 212. We've issued over 11,500 individual trades over the last 212 weeks. The global markets open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern and remain open until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. There is a 1-hour break every day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Last night or yesterday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern, the Thursday session officially ended. And after an hour break at 6 p.m. Eastern, the Friday session officially began. So, since 6 p.m. Sunday night, we've issued a total of 51 Logic 247 alerts. 5 never triggered. 3 of those are the gap fills. Still waiting on the outcome of 2. 44 actionable alerts, of which 6 or 14% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure, and a very simple 3-step process that we teach all of our passport holders. Over the last 212 weeks, we've averaged 20% of actionable alerts being stopped out. So far this has been a good week. The last 2 weeks there have been less trades than normal due to market conditions. An average week's 50 to 100. I wanted to get it up over 50 this week, although we had a slow start to the week. And so all in all, things have worked out very, very good. Now, along with the Logic 247 alerts, which come out around the clock as opportunity presents itself, we still have our original alert service, the Concierge Trade Alerts. And they are different from the Logic alerts, but they work hand in hand. Logic alerts are based on current price action. CTAs are based on historic price action. The CTA report is published for our members every trading day shortly after the Globex Open. Globex opened last night at 6. This report was published for our members at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. There's 2 numbers for each market. Whatever market you trade, you should go to that 30-minute chart and make note of where price is at the time the report is published. From that moment forward, if price starts trending up towards 42.10, that's bullish. So our strategy will look for opportunities to be long the market. If price starts trending down towards 41.76, that's bearish. And so our strategy will look for opportunities to be short the market. In either case, most days you'll be able to get your goal for the day as price moves up towards the CTA trigger or down towards the short trigger, the long or the short, either way, whichever way the market's trending. There's usually ample room to get your goal for the day once you understand the market and the strategy. Now, again, the CTAs are based on historic price action, whereas Logic is based on current price action. When current price action meets historic price action, that's where you'll find some of your best high probability, low risk trade opportunities. And that's where you will use everything you learn in the live training room every day, along with Logic 247, to yourself find those opportunities to be long or to be short the market. Our goal is to help you become a self-sufficient trader. Our goal is to help you learn to read a chart the way you read a newspaper or a mystery novel. Our goal is to help you get to the point where you don't need anybody to tell you when to get in or when to get out, because you look at a chart and you don't see just a jumble of candles, but you actually are able to see the windows of opportunity. It has to make sense. It has to become logical. Otherwise, you're going to spend however much time and money you have to spend chasing parlor tricks and circus acts, or you can actually learn how to trade. 9 out of 10 new traders will fail because they don't have anyone to teach them how to trade. Well, I watched this video on YouTube and it said, and I bought this book and it said, got nothing against books or videos. Just told you we have over 2,000 daily live broadcasts archived on our YouTube channel. But neither one is a substitute for a live teacher instructing you and answering your questions while you trade along in the simulator as you learn this very simple strategy and methodology yourself. Trading's not easy, but it can be that simple. You become a passport holder, you show up every day for class, you tune into the afternoon broadcast, you always ask lots of questions, and before you know it, all the parlor tricks and circus stacks are a distant memory, because now you can read the chart. And while no one, not man nor machine, can know what will happen next in the market, you can know with a high degree of certainty what the next high probability move will be. As I said, over the last 212 weeks and the 11,500 plus Logic 247 alerts that we've published, 20% of those on average get stopped out because the order flow switches in the middle of a trade. And that's something you have no control over. Now think about whatever your current results are, however long you've been trading, okay? And over the last 212 weeks, have you experienced a 20% stop out rate? If not, that may be because you don't know how to read a chart properly and you don't know how to apply logic to the scenario that's right in front of you. Once the clouds part, you'll say, my gosh, how could I have not seen that before? Well, because you didn't have someone to teach you. You didn't have someone to mentor you. You didn't have someone who offered you unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions on top of the 2 hours a day of live training. You don't have a business plan. You don't have a trading plan. That's why 9 out of 10 new traders don't make it. Go find the one guy. See, if 9 out of 10 fail, then 1 out of 10 obviously makes it based on simple math. Find that one person and ask him, did you have somebody teach you how to trade? 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be absolutely. How else would I learn? How does an electrician learn to become an electrician? How does a plumber learn to become a plumber? How does an attorney learn how to argue a case in front of a judge or a jury? How does a pilot learn how to fly a plane? How does a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon learn to crack your skull or your breastbone? They have someone teach them how to do it. And then they have to pass a series of rigorous tests before they're allowed to go out and perform those services on the public. Unfortunately, in the world of trading, there is no such thing. If you got money and you want to throw it at the market, they'll let you do it all day long. And whenever you need a new shiny object, all you got to do is open your email. Because all the places you've been and all the stuff you've played with, okay, when they can no longer milk you for another dime, then they just sell your name and email address to somebody else. And they send you off down another rabbit hole. At some point, you got to say, stop the madness. I just want to learn how to trade. Price can only do 3 things: go up, go down, or struggle sideways. And when you learn how to read a chart, the chart tells you exactly what's going on. So with that said, let's go to a chart. Start with the daily chart, as we always do each and every day. There we go. And this is what we've been talking about for days. Remember, on this move up from this sticky area, which is connected to this sticky area, and we knew that this would be a sticking point. Why? Because the chart told us so. Not because some guy on the internet or some grumpy guru or some newsletter told us. We looked at the chart and we saw it. Okay? It's logical. And when price could not take out these highs and hold the pullback, price got below blue and climbing turned to red and falling, and we made that trip back down to the 51% or the 50% reverse fib, and these lows, we caught a bounce into red and falling, and now here we are. The market has followed the script perfectly, as it did here, here, and here. Now if we take out 42.75, we are headed to, 40.75, then we're headed to the 38% reverse fib, which is 40.18 and change, call it 40.20. If that doesn't hold, then we're down to the 24% reverse fib, which happens to be right where the last bullish cross took place. Whenever you have a bullish cross that leads to an extended move, the first time price revisits that area, it will almost always be good support. And a spike of that would actually bring this old trend line back into play. Okay? Market is very heavy. Okay? If you've attempted trading long today, that's because you don't understand how to trade the markets. Okay? Plain and simple. It's all right there in front of you. Okie doke. 30-minute chart of the S&P. Last night's CTA numbers on the long side, 42.10. The vertical line separates today, Friday, from yesterday, Thursday. 42.10 up to 42.17 and a quarter. 7 points, $50 a point, $350 per contract traded. And then Jerome from Jackson Hole took to the podium, and he brought our script to reality. Right here is the lowest weekly trading zone for this week, 40.95/40.96. From 41.76 to 4100, that's 76 points. At $50 a point, that's $3,800 per contract traded. This one trade here will almost, the two together, will almost pay for your passport. This is one trade, but the passport's for life. Never expires. There's no upsells. There's no shiny new objects to buy. You just keep hearing the same stuff over and over, over and over, until you actually start to see the logic for yourself, knowing that even when you do your best analysis and when you understand the logic of the markets, when you understand that price flows the same across all markets and all time frames, from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over again and again, you're still going to get stopped out on average 20% of the time. That's if you do it right. If you're just clicking the mouse, you're going to get stopped out a whole lot more than that. $41.76, almost to the lowest weekly trading zone at $40.96. That would be, well, at 40. This swing low here, we decided to call it 4,100. Again, 76 points, $50 a point. Just shy of $4,000 per contract traded. Once you earn the right to trade 10 contracts, that's a $40,000 move. True story. And a simple function of math. Here's the Dow. Looks an awful lot like the S&P, doesn't it? They almost always do. The long trigger was 33.10, and it took us up to the target at 33,400. It's 90 points, $5 a point, $450 per contract traded. We spiked it and then came right back. In the live training room this morning and in the discussion group, when this candle completed, I typed it into the discussion group and mentioned it in the live training room that we had probably seen the high of the day. That was before. That was an hour before Jerome Powell started talking. Okay? If you don't understand this candlestick and what it represents, then I say you probably should go read The Secret Life of Candles. See Valerie, she'll hook you up with a free trial and a copy of The Secret Life of Candles. From 41.76, we've covered that. Let's go to the back to the Dow, where we saw the same thing, high of the day, and then Jerome comes, and we take a tumble. The trigger was at 33,015. The target, it was 32,855. So from 855, 955, about 150 points, $5 a point, $750 per contract traded. and the market's still falling. On the Russell, we didn't quite trigger the long trigger, but we made that same spike right up to the weekly trading zone. And by the time the 30-minute candle closed, the only thing left touching the zone was the wick. Only 3 things happen at a weekly trading zone. The most common is consolidation. The second most common is rejection. Third and least likely is the slice. Okay. And today the slice did not do what it would normally do because of the incredible selling pressure and the fact that Jerome Powell said his plan is to see interest rates at 4.5%. If he only takes them to 4.5%, we should consider ourselves blessed. When Volcker was handed this same type of situation, we saw mortgage rates hit 18%. That'll cool the housing market real quick. Fortunately, the way they try to bring inflation, tame inflation, hurts the people at the lowest end of the scale the most. Those at the upper end of the scale, they never even feel the effect of it. That's why they take actions and behave in the manner that they do. This swing low right here, as you can see, lines up with the current swing low. Next area for support, right there. So we didn't trigger the long side, we triggered the short side from 1951 down to 1943. The zone is 1942/43. We found support there yesterday. We went from zone, back to the zone, up to the zone, and now we've covered 2 zones. That's 8 points, $50 a point, $400 per contract traded from the published entry to the published target. And then we covered another zone, and now right there, support. On the NQ, triggered on the long side twice, 13,180 up to 220. That's $800 per contract traded. And then from 180 up to 198, it's $360 per contract traded. 18 times 20, 360, yep. And 40 times 20, $800 per contract traded. Early in the night, price, well, not early in the night, but early in the morning, price came right down to the short trigger, got rejected, bounced up, triggered long, then along came Jerome, and from 13,070 we dropped to 13,040, which is 30 points, but it's $25 a point. You know what, on the Russell, I quoted 20 a point, it's actually 50 a point. So that 8.0, yeah, I'll get it right, okay. So the NQ pays, Russell pays 50 a point, NQ pays 20 a point. There's 30 points, 20 a point, $600 per contract traded, but we just kept going. And a pullback to the step line here will probably give us another leg to the downside. A little bit of a relief rally, but I'm not convinced this is the low of the day, even though I was pretty well convinced that this was the high of the day, both in the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, and the NQ. Crude oil. No trigger on the long side. We spent many hours consolidating at the weekly trading zone. Again, only 3 things happen at a zone. We've been publishing the zone since December 14th of 2009. Once you understand how to use the zones, along with the indicators, along with the strategy, the zones will become one of the most important tools that you have in your trading toolbox. Where'd we go from zone down to the zone? Today's Friday. Zones were published Monday morning. Where'd the market find support? at the zone. And we actually had multiple triggers on crude. The first one, 92.20, dropped to 91.52. That's almost $680 per contract traded. We got back above the trigger, dropped again, back above the trigger, dropped again. This time we dropped all the way to the target at 91.40. That's $800 per contract traded. Right now price is trapped, resistance overhead, the BBC, support below at red and fallen. If we take out this swing low, then we could drop this afternoon to the next zone below. If we don't do it today, we could do it Sunday night when the markets open at 6 p.m. Eastern. Here's gold. No trigger on the long side. Price opened right at the weekly trading zone. Came down. Hit the trigger at 1767. Took us to 1765. That's $200 per contract traded. And we triggered again. Down to 1765.40. Then back above the trigger. And then all the way down to the target at 65. It's another $200 per contract traded. Now, not all triggers are created equal. The BBC has gotten below the short CTA, and so this is not a shortable event. You only want to go short when the price gets below the 30-minute BBC. Pretty simple. We hit the zone and we bounced. We hit the zone, we're consolidating. Consolidation, 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 consolidation. All on zones that were published for our members on Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. On silver, two-sided action. 2 pennies is $100. This first little move here only made it a penny, $15 or $50. Then we came back and we triggered again from 1918 up to 1920 and a half. That's 2.5 pennies, $125 per contract traded. Then we got back below the trigger and ran all the way to the zone. That's 10 pennies or $500 per contract traded. Then we got back below the trigger, another $500 per contract traded. And then we dropped and we triggered the short CTA. First time got rejected. From 1904, we dropped to 1896. It's $400 per contract traded. Then we got back above the trigger, and we dropped to the zone, which is the target, 1879/1880. So that's 24 pennies or $1,200 per contract traded. And we're still dropping. And we've got a zone below us at 1860, which I believe, nope, there's still one more zone below that. So we've covered everything but the euro. Did have a trigger on the short side, which took us down to 9,600. It's $250 per contract traded. And we talked about this yesterday, this bullish cross. When price came back to this area, it acted as good support. And when price came back to this area, good support. This bullish cross created this support, and this support created this support. Once resistance is defined, it will remain resistance until broken. And once support is defined, it will remain support until proven otherwise. So then we triggered the euro on the long side, and it took us up to the target from 990 up to 100,135. We then came back to the trigger, the BBC. Price always reverts to the mean. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't. And off we go again. We covered 1, 2, 3 zones, and look where the market found its high, right at the weekly trading zone published Monday morning. So then we come back down, we get below the BBC, and the short trigger remains down here. Now, if price were to start printing green, that would not be a valid long trigger because price is below the 30-minute BBC. And last but not least, bonds. Here's where we opened. We came right down to the zone, found support, consolidated for many hours, made a run back up to the zone. We did spike the CTA long trigger from 138 up to 138.08. And that brings us all the way back to the daily chart. Keep your eye on 4075. It's a really important number. It's going to create an initial window of opportunity and potentially even more. Okay. To become a lifetime member, and when we say lifetime, we mean lifetime. When we say access to unlimited one-on-one mentoring, we really mean unlimited. The live training rooms open every day for 2 hours. Traders putting on, taking off trades live in real time, explaining every move they make, every trade they take, and the rule behind it. You have to learn the rules-based trading before you wander into the world of discretionary trading. Otherwise, you're going to end up as part of the 9 out of 10. If you want a shot at becoming the 1 out of 10, then you need to follow the rules that are set forth, not confuse them and combine them and mix them up and put them in a blender with all the other stuff that has done nothing but cost you money over the years. Obviously, if what you did in the past was profitable, you wouldn't be here today. So we're here to help. All you have to do is ask. Once you have your passport, it never expires. There's no recurring fees, not weekly, not monthly, not annually. You pay once. You have lifetime access. The methodology and strategy that you learn works just the same on futures as it does on stocks, as it does on crypto, as it does on Forex. Whether it's a 1-minute chart, an hourly chart, a daily chart, a weekly chart, a monthly chart, doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. And some people will never be able to accept that fact. Some people will remain on the hunt their entire life, Googling till their fingers bleed, looking for that holy grail, that magical indicator that means I'm not going to get stopped out 20% of the time. I'm going to ride the glory train. I'll show everybody. My heart breaks for you. The methodology you learn, the indicators you own for life, fluid across all markets, all time frames. Along with the passport, you receive the around-the-clock Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts, access to the Thursday night members-only workshop. We had a good workshop last night. If you're a member and you were unable to attend, just go to the Telegram channel where Valerie posts the workshops every Thursday night or Friday morning for those of you that weren't able to attend live. It's much better if you attend live so that you can ask questions. Just watching videos, just reading books, you know. Now, because of our discussion group in Telegram, if you're watching a workshop video or any other type of video and you have a question, you can ask your question after the fact in the discussion group and somebody will clear it up for you. Okay? A lot of valuable information is exchanged every day in the Telegram members only discussion group. If you're not tuned into Telegram, if you got some phobia about messaging clients, you really should get over it. because it will really help you to be able to rub shoulders and talk with other traders who have learned the very simple strategy that we teach. You don't see our charts cluttered with a million different indicators. Price goes from support back to resistance, back to support, over and over again and again. Now, people are going to tell you that's old-fashioned, that's horse and buggy, man. Come on. We got algorithms and all these other fancy things. That doesn't change the fact that price moves from support to resistance, back to support, over and over again and again. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you can build your house on sinking sand, or you can build it on the solid rock. It really is your choice. Okay? All right, let's wrap this week up with our good word for the day. How to be blessed at work, part 3. In honor, preferring one another, Romans 12:10. Here is another important key to being blessed on the job. Thoughtfulness. That's true whether you're the company president or the overnight shift worker. The nameplate on your office door may say that you deserve respect, but you have to earn it every day through your work ethic and your attitude. In the Old Testament, most people earned their living by farming and raising cattle. So Solomon offers this advice. Proverbs 27:23. Know well the condition of your flocks and pay attention to your herds. Good leaders make it their business to know the needs, strengths, weaknesses, potential, and motivational levels of those who work with them. As a trader, you have to understand those things about yourself. As a result, employee sick time is reduced, morale is improved, quality and production soar. Believe it or not, a pay increase isn't always the best motivator. Sometimes your thoughtfulness, understanding, and interest in an employee is also a powerful motivator. Putting people down or taking them for granted just guarantees resentment. When you truly care about people, you try to bring out the best in them. And if you're an employee, God promises, whoever protects their master will be honored. Proverbs 27:18. If you keep criticizing those above you, those around you will begin to distrust you. Why? Because they know at some point you'll do the same to them. As long as you resent your position as a follower, you will never become qualified to be a leader. The Bible says you're supposed to speak well of those in authority over you. Titus 3:1. Ask God to help you know if it's time to speak up or if you should hold your tongue and just move on. You'll be blessed by, first of all, seeking to be a blessing. And that applies to every area of your life, not just the workplace. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.